Hello everyone, this is Carlos Lopez de Almeida, founder of the Plus X Fund, coming at you this Chinese New Year, Tuesday, February 1st, 2022. Today we're going to present the bullish case on why now is possibly the best time to invest in Bitcoin, and if you wait, you might miss out. So let's go right into the chart. This is the Bitcoin chart on the daily chart. You can see where we are over here. You can see that we have a year-long trend line touching, this price here at 24,000 and touching two price points perfectly here during the summer massacre and almost touching this low here perfectly. So that's a very well-established, very long trend line that establishes the entire bull market structure. So as long as we're above this, we're happy. We did bounce from here. But let's talk about the most important thing on our plate. Chinese New Year is today, right there. February the 1st. Happy Chinese New Year, everybody. I want to make the case that from now throughout the month of February, we should be making at least 20% gains. Now, if 33K was the bottom here on January 24th, then our Chinese New Year uptrend starts from here and it can easily go to the 14th of February. And if we manage to do like a 26% move, which is very likely based on historical precedent, that would be, we'd get to around 41,000, between 41 and 42,000. And that would take us right into the daily EMA banner right here, which, we could easily get rejected from there. I would take profits near the top of this banner, definitely. A lot of times in history, we go into it and then get rejected. But there's a big case to be made that this is the bottom. And if you're holding for the long term, you won't care about whatever rejection up here. You'll just keep buying more and holding it. I believe we are very near the bottom. If there's one final rug pull dump that takes us, to some bear trap zone, down here, that could happen. But we're looking at historical precedent here. In a previous video, I showed every Chinese New Year since 2013. So that's 10 years in a row of Chinese New Years. And possibly the ones before, which I didn't analyze. But every Chinese New Year, there's a pump. The month of Chinese New Year has a decent pump from before and after Chinese New Year, most of the time, actually. And this looks like another example of before to after. So that's one very important case. I did a further analysis here on the 2018 Chinese New Year, which most looked like this year, and I'll show you why. Here's the 2017 market cycle top. Then we went into a year-long bear market. But the bear market, we had dropped 70% to get to this range, but then in December or November of 2018, boom, another 50% drop after we were already in a bear market. And that took us to January. And guess what? February 5th of that year was Chinese New Year. And right after that, we started going up. This was 25%. So that's a very good, this is the year most similar to where we are at now. And of course, after that, you had the 2019 mini bull run here, which would be amazing if that happens again now, right? But we're at least just looking for a 25% pump. And if we go to the present day, we can see again, we're totally down. We're 52% down here from the top. Huge downtrend. This is a definite potential bottom here. We'd be, again, holding this year-long trend line. And there's just a lot of confluence there to show that because it's February, because it's Chinese New Year, because 10 Chinese New Years in a row had good pumpage, that this is a time to buy Bitcoin or to go long on your trades. And here's another piece of confluence. Here's every January and February in history, thanks to Benjamin Cohen, he pointed this out. Every red January in history, which is basically just these years here, is followed by double-digit gains in February. So there's only 3 red Februaries in the history of Bitcoin, and they've all been after green Januaries. So we're on the flip side: red January, green February. The worst performance would be 11.76%. Median would be 20%, 18%. If you ignore this one, let's just call it 16%. So if we count from the open, 16% up, let's just say 15. That would be 44,000. That would mean we pump into the daily EMA banner, don't get rejected at the top, but actually make it a little bit above, and then get rejected. So we got the red January, green February historical case. We got the Chinese New Year historical case. We got this potential bottom with Bitcoin having dropped 52%. So the likelihood of a pump is just higher, So that's on the daily chart. Let's switch to the weekly chart. We have a new weekly candle here. The previous weekly candle is almost a dragonfly doji. It's not quite there, but it almost is. And in December, when we had our big dump, we had from the bottom of the dump, we had 25% pump, even 26% if you take the full range. So it's very likely that we should have a 26% more or less pump. If we just repeat patterns, repeat measured moves. Again, 41,000. I would say, 41, 42,000 would be a big level to take profits. What else do we have on the weekly chart? We have the NVT. If you remember, another historical, perfectly accurate indicator. Every time the NVT flips from red to white, we have seen huge dumps in Bitcoin. And again, it flipped from red to white twice, and we were on high alert, and I warned everyone, and we did see this big crash. We gained Bitcoin during this crash because we were totally in USD at this time, especially because we had this warning with 2 weeks of warning here. And now that we're in the white for the 3rd week, this is our 3rd week in the white, we're now out of the danger zone. There's no historical precedent that says that after the big dump, when you turn to white, that you're still in danger for another dump. There's no historical precedent. You can look at all of history in the charts. So we should be in a zone where now the price is stable and can trend up and match the performance, from before, and just have the likelihood of going up just because it's down so much. We have this 1-year trend line, like I said, coming from December 2020, touching here, 2 touches during the summer bloodbath, and almost perfectly touching on this dump. That is that represents our entire bull market structure. It's above here, and this might have been the bottom when we touch this line. I mean, maybe we'll retest it, and even if we dump and retest it, this might still be the bottom. We'd have to have a bearish case to break this bottom. So that's good news right there. Now let's do some candlestick analysis. And we saw this one almost a dragonfly doji. But if we go to the 3-day chart, on the 3-day chart we do have a doji. We do have a dragonfly here. We have this dump, and it's a 3-day, and the 3-day chart is still pretty good. It's a solid chart. So you do have this dragonfly doji here. That's a trend reversal candle. It's not super strong. We don't have like extreme volume spike here, but it's just to note. And on the daily chart, you know, we had our initial dump, and then we have our secondary dump here, our dragonfly doji hiding after the initial dump with a fake out pump. You know, that was kind of a trick. It seemed like the charts had played on us, but it happens. You know, then we had this reverse dragonfly, but it was unable to push the charts down, and we continued this uptrend in this ascending wedge. Now, if this ascending wedge breaks to the upside, that's just game on. You know, we do need to see it break to the upside and confirm on the daily, but I would say that's game on for, you know, a move up to the previous range. Again, that could be easily 44,000 retest. If we retest 44,000 from the bottom here, that's a 33% move up from the bottom, which would still be totally in line with all the Chinese New Years, except for the worst one ever. It would be decent February performance. Yeah, that would be a good move up. Very likely, very possible. Now let's look at the 12-hour chart. We got a bullish engulfing candle here on the 12-hour. That's also a very good sign. It's not a massive bullish engulfing, but the green had totally engulfed the red. And the 12-hour chart is good for predicting patterns, you know, 12 days out. So 12 days out from this is, well, we're already almost there. It's the end of this pattern. It's the end of this triangle pattern. So, you know, again, more confluence that in the short term, this could bump up. We're currently in the 12-hour EMA banner. So yeah, the breakout of this triangle is going to be really important. So, yeah, that's another thing to note. So yeah, these are all our bullish cases. Look, we got a very potential bottom with a bullish engulfing on the 12-hour, which is also a dragonfly doji on the 3-day. Very good candle. We're 52% down on Bitcoin. We had a pump of similar proportions from the December 4th crash. So now from the January 22nd 3-day candle crash here, we should have a similar performance. We're in Chinese New Year now. There's a period here where every year for 10 years in a row, it's been going up more than this. And double-digit gains also every February following a red January. So that's huge bullish case with the NVT stable in white, so that danger zone is over. Lots to make the bullish case. What's the bearish case? The bearish case is that the downtrend is just simply not over, and you know, the trend is your friend till the end. For us who are going long here, we're trying to long the bull market from the bottom. Well, the trend is our enemy here. You know, this is our enemy till it's confirmed, proven to be over. What else? A big consideration on the weekly chart. On the weekly chart, here's our volume candles. If you want to look back in history a little bit further, let's go back to the historical chart and let's go to the log scale. If you look at history, you can see we had massive here at the end of the 2017 parabolic top crash, massive weekly volume down. At that horrible 50% drop, massive volume candle down. Coronavirus, massive volume candle down. And on the May 19th crash, when China abolished miners, massive candle down. And for this entire downtrend, we don't have that. We don't have a massive sell-off candle. This was like much more slow and efficient and methodical selling here. So that's something to note. What else? We got another chart that I've set up for trading. This is the 3-day chart on Bitcoin. The 3-day chart with the range filter buy and sell indicators. We're still in a sell indicator zone. We're still in a downtrend. And we don't have a green dot at the bottom here. That's the parabolic SAR. The PSAR, when it flips green, that's an indication of an uptrend. We don't have a green dot yet. So we may want to wait for a green dot and wait for a breakout of this ascending wedge to go heavier. And we're still in the sell area. Now, you know, the previous sell area, from when it flashed this to when we had the end of the downtrend, was 63 days. Right now, from this one, we are currently at 56 days. So we're almost equal to, you know, where these sell signals flashed. So it could be a good idea to front run the next buy signal. Now, on the 3-day chart, these buy and sell signals are perfectly accurate on Bitcoin for years. It even said to sell before the Corona dump. I think it was like one day. It might have been on the day. You know, that one might have not been early enough to be useful. But the rest of this stuff is very useful. Obviously, it caught the buy zone after Corona dump. It caught this. And now again, I'm combining these with the green parabolic SAR dots. So these were both the dot and the buy signal. Here we had a dot and a sell signal if you're able to catch that in time. Here we did have a sell signal with the dot, and that was a good time to sell up here and catch a little bit of gains. And you got the buy signal here for the continuation of the bull run. This sell signal has no dot. You see, we didn't get a PSAR dot here, so this one was safely ignored, meaning this buy signal was ignored because this sell was ignored. So this buy signal was good for this entire move up, and didn't get a sell signal until here. Now again, this sell signal is kind of late, but the buy signals are more important. And a good trader should be taking profits along the way, so that if you missed this sell signal or other indicators that indicated time to sell, you know, you had already taken profits. So the sells don't matter as much. This buy signal was great. Here we got a PSAR dot, but no sell signal. So the opposite of this over here, back here. So no need to sell. You could have ignored this whole September correction based on this chart, and you would have caught this whole move. So anyway, now we're on a sell zone, and I think soon we're going to get a dot down here, and this is going to turn into a buy signal here on the 3-day chart, and again, historically accurate for years, especially the buys. So that'll be a huge indicator to buy into when these go off. So to continue the bearish case, we don't have that green dot yet. We're still in a sell zone here. We don't have the weekly volume sell-off candle in the volume indicator. And we don't need that. And just pointing out, you know, a little bit of perspective for the bearish case. And one more item on the bearish case. We can see 1 hour Fibonacci retracements. I guess I have to go back to the daily chart. Yeah. The golden pocket for the Fibonacci, measured from the bottom of coronavirus to our all-time high of 69,000. So this gives you a Fibonacci from the bottom to the top. Gives us a golden pocket, which is the 6.5 to 618 zone of $27,777.77, 27777. That is a potential area for a mega crash, which now that we're down so low, that would only be another, 28% crash, which isn't that much from the current point, but that would make the total downtrend to the true bottom 60%. Now, I don't think Bitcoin can dump 60% because we're in a new market cycle with institutional money and Wall Street and countries buying Bitcoin, and the bigger a market grows, the less volatile it becomes. It's just a natural effect of a growing market. If you have a little puddle, you can step on it and make waves, but if you have an ocean, you would need giant icebergs falling into it, and that might not even make a wave. So Bitcoin did fall 80% in 2018 from the top of the parabolic top of the bull run. Could it fall 60% from here? It's less likely. We've already fallen probably as much as we can, unless the whole bull market is over and we're heading into a bear market. That's a different story. So I don't think that's happening. We have on-chain data that shows the supply is extremely limited. Exchanges have the least amount of Bitcoin in years. There's always more buyers and more demand. This doesn't look like the end. I'm gonna start considering that this was the bottom, because we're in February, we're in Chinese New Year. So that's it. That's the update. Bearish and bullish case. Trade safe, everybody. Take care. Bye bye.